Welcome to episode 145 of the BCF ORG podcast, The Business of Business. I'm Brian Fisher. Get ready for the most actionable 15 minutes in business podcasting. This podcast series focuses on the various subjects and topics to help you run a successful, profitable business, and it's targeted to business owners and C-suite executives, but anyone interested in business can benefit. It reflects my 34 years as a business owner and subsequent years as a business mentor and consultant. They're approximately 15 minutes long, so you can listen while commuting. In the previous episode, 144, our guest was Boo Bukokas, former fighter pilot, discussing discipline behind sustainable high performance. Today's episode discusses building impactful companies with Sarah Choudhary. Based out of the Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill, North Carolina area, Sarah Choudhary is the CEO of ICE Innovations, a company that is creating innovative solutions. Get ready for insider strategies that can put your business on the map. Let's welcome Sarah Choudhary. Sarah, welcome to the BCF ORG podcast, The Business of Business.
It's a real pleasure to be here and, feel very privileged to be here. And I have to say, I love the name of your show, The Business of Business, because it tells you more into detail, what exactly, the business is, basically and this carries a lot of weight because it points at something that most founders spend their whole career avoiding. The business of business, what I have learned through so far from your podcast is not a kind of like a pitch deck. It's not even a, revenue. It's an invisible work of building a kind of like yourself into the kind of leader the company actually needs. So I'm very grateful to having this conversation with someone who have lived every side of it or over, decades. Thank you so much, Brian.
Well, thanks for that, Sarah. Sarah, I'm always interested in people's stories. What's your background becoming the CEO of ICE Innovations, a company that develops innovative, scalable solutions which combines technology with practical implementation?
Brian, my background on paper is technology, and I hold a PhD in data science and business analytics. I have spent over 20 years in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and I have consulted with more than 150 enterprise organization, including the biggest name like Ernst & Young, Accenture. I'm also a member of the Forbes Technology Council, and I was named to 2024 Marquis who's list as well. Somewhere along that journey, the consultant in me wanted to become a builder. I would be inside enough companies to see that worked and what broke, what scaled, and what stalled. And I knew that I take that knowledge and apply to ventures of my own. So I founded ICE Innovations. It's a portfolio of a bootstrapped companies, no venture capital, no outside investors, no safety net. I built over the rideshare platform, a food tech venture called iChef, and an education nonprofit platform called Talim that focus on the underserved communities. And I'm also author of the forthcoming book, The Quantum Code of Wealth. So I did not become a CEO because I wanted a title. I became it because I wanted to architect the impact at the scale of my own vision. I read a book of Peter Drucker. He put it best, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And that's the work.
This episode's topic is building impactful companies. What separates founders who build lasting companies from those who burn out or stall?
Yeah, Brian, this is a question I think about constantly and after consulting with over, a lot of organization and building my own, here what I have come to the belief, companies don't fail because the founder ran out of money or something like that, or some obstacles. They fail because the founder ran out of clarity. Because the founders who burns out are usually running on borrowed energy, if I would say, validation, fear, and need to be seen as successful. That fuels basically runs out fast. The founders who last for or are running on something quieter and stronger, they have a deep and unshakable clarity about why this company needs to exist and who they are becoming through the building of it. I remember Viktor Frankl, he said that He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. So that's the founder questions right now. The how of the business, the legal stress, the cash flow pressure, the team conflict. It doesn't break the founder with a strong why. It breaks the one who confused ambition for the purpose.
Following up on that, how do you stay clear-headed when decisions carry legal, operational, and financial consequences?
Yeah, I will give you the most counterintuitive answer I can. I never make a high stakes decision from a high stakes state of mind. When the pressure spikes, my nervous system wants to act fast, but fast and clear are not the same thing. So I have trained myself to slow down deliberately when stakes go up. I separate the signal, like what does this situation actually require, from the noise. And noise is fear, ego, and urgency. So practically that means that I sleep on big decisions when I can. I write the problem down before I respond to it. And I always ask one question: am I making this decision, or is the pressure that making it for me? Because the moment the pressure is in the driver's seats, you are no longer leading, you are reacting. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find the strengths. Like 2000 years later, it's still the operating manual.
Boy, is that ever the truth, that you should never make a decision under pressure.
Yep.
We're speaking with Sarah Choudhary, CEO of ICE Innovations, a company that develops innovative, scalable solutions which combines technology with practical implementation. Dr. Sarah Choudhary has been a prominent figure in the industry for over a decade. She has been recognized with numerous awards for her contributions to the field of AI and digital transformation, and was named to the 2024 Marquis Who's Who's list. Now, let's get back to the questions. Sarah, what's one leadership mistake you see founders make when they're under pressure?
The biggest one is like confusing the motion with the progress, because under pressure, founders default to doing more, more meetings, more decisions, more pivots, more posts on LinkedIn or something like that. They mistake the activity for leadership. So, but the team doesn't need a bruiser or some kind of a busier founder, because the team need a clearer one. The second mistake, which is closely related, is under pressure. Founder shrink their space, their team they has to think, like they start micromanaging because their own anxiety needs somewhere to go. And the moment you do that, you turn talented people into order takers, and you wonder 6 months later why your A+ player have disengaged. A great leader under pressure does the opposite. They get quieter, they get more deliberate, they protect the team's clarity, even their own is shaking. And that's the work. That's make it the leader as well.
Sarah, a question for the future. What skills or mindsets will kids need to thrive in a world increasingly shaped by AI and digital systems?
Yeah, I love this question, Brian, because this is a thing I'm very passionate about, partly because I am a mother, because and it's also my profession works. But in an AI world, the value of memorizing answer has collapsed to nearly zero. A child can ask any AI system any question and get a competent answer right away. So the skills our kids needs are the one AI cannot replicate. Three things matter more than ever. First, the art of asking better question, because in the AI world, the quality of your question determines the quality of your life. Second is discriminant. It's the ability to tell what is the true, what is the useful, what is the worthy of their attention. And AI will flood them with content. So their power is in choosing. And number third is this is the one most of the people miss, emotional regulation. The kids who can stay calm, focused, and self-aware in a noisy world, they will lead it for sure. And the kids who can will swept away along with it. So like Einstein once says, like imagination is the more important than knowledge. And he was right then, and he is even more right now. AI is an amazing tool. It can be your assistant, but it never be a creative. Creativity is specific for humans only.
Sarah, what results or lessons learned have you seen with businesses and individuals that have implemented your recommendations?
Yeah, the pattern I see again and again is that like most companies don't have strategy problem, they have a coherence problem. Like when we go in and align the leadership team around one clear vision, one shared language or one decision making framework, velocity comes back almost immediately. I have watched leadership teams that were stuck for a number of months unblock themselves in a single working session just because we made it invisible visible. So on the individual side, this is like the work I love most. I have watched founders go from running their business out of survival mode to running it out of intention. The business changes because they change, and revenue follows clarity. And it almost always does. So the lesson, if I had to put in one line, is like every external bottleneck in a business is usually an internal one wearing a costume.
We're speaking with Sarah Choudhary, CEO of ICE Innovations. Sarah, is there anything I've not asked that you'd like to add?
Yeah, one thing I will love to, leave your listen with is like we are at genuine inflection point in the business history. AI is not a tool like you bolt into your strategy. It's basically a tectonic shift in how value gets created. The companies that will thrive out of the next decades are not the ones that adopt AI the fastest. They are the ones that stay more human while they do. Technology scales oppression, but humanity scales the trust. And in the AI saturated market right now, trust is definitely going to be the most valuable currency in the planet. So my message to every business owner listening this, don't just ask, how do I use AI in my business? Ask, how do I become more of a leader, more of a human, more of a builder in an AI world, because that's the company that becomes impactful and that's the company that lasts.
Sarah, how can people get in contact with you?
The easiest way to find me is the LinkedIn. I live over there, Sarah Choudhary. You will also see ICE Innovations and Forbes Technology Council on my profile. You can also visit ICE-Right.io or RewiredInstitute.ai, where we offer a free foundation assessment for leaders and founders who want to look under the hood of how they are actually leading, and for anyone who curious about intersection of AI, leadership, and deeper questions of what businesses is for. So I share their work on my platform. And Brian, thank you. There was a wonderful conversation.
Sarah, thank you for joining us today on the BCF-ORG podcast, The Business of Business. My sincere thanks to Sarah Choudhary for joining us today. Managing the performance and future direction of your company are two of the most important things you do as a leader. And I'm here to help you. If you'd like to reach out to me for business mentoring or consulting, help you with a podcast, schedule a speaking engagement, or potentially be a guest like Sarah, please go to bcforg.com. There's a red Contact Us button in the middle of the homepage. These podcasts will be released the first and third Tuesday each month. This podcast is available wherever you get your podcast. In search, type BCF ORG. Be sure to leave a space between BCF and ORG. And I'm looking for this podcast to move from an upper mid-tier podcast to a top-tier podcast. Please leave a positive review. Let your friends and colleagues know about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow the podcast. Join us for our next episode, 146, when our guest will be Ghasenfar Mansour, discussing Beyond the Download. In business, running a successful, profitable business is the ultimate scorecard. You are never done and can always be better. It tends to be more fun than work, frustrating at times, but can be very rewarding. From BCF ORG Corp., I'm Brian Fisher, wishing you the best. Thanks.